Welcome, Blood Bowl fans. You've been waiting for it. Now it's here. The REL Div 1 through 3 Week 1 recap. I'm Saace, and with me we have Mike.
How's it going?
And just to settle the one question on Trunk's mind, I'm the pitcher, he's the catcher.
Oh, this week you definitely stomped on
Let's
the ground. So.
jump in to Div 3. Mike agrees with me.
Yeah, so we'll get to you stomping me later because that's in Div 1. But now, for right now, we're taking a look at Div 3. So what happened? Let's take a look at the schedule.
It's a good, no draws. Div 3 going balls to the wall.
Yeah, no draws.
Now, Lich's Bonehead getting 2-0'd by Brazers. I believe that's Superfed TV's is Brazers Orcs. They were an expected favorite, and Lich is an underdog. Not really in the. It's not really a team that Lich's Boneheads could bash down either. So
they did
not to be unexpected.
Kill a fairly developed blitzer though. At least 2 skills on him, I think.
Yes, with a ghoul.
Yeah. So.
Scholar Gentlemen, underdeveloped versus dwarves. That's to be expected. Mean, Lean, and Neon Green rookie team, right? REBBL Rookie League.
They came up from one of the divisions that I was covering last season. 4 or 5, I think.
Beating out Roasted Garlic Triscuits.
Yeah.
The name that's always confused me.
Yeah. Now,
the one that I really want to touch on here is not an anime sports team versus Fruity Kisses. I said in the pre-cap that I think Letus's team will have issues with the leaner, more trim, and fighting fit elf teams, and a high-scoring match seems to prove that neither team was able to stop much.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think this is definitive either way. It's both teams were able to score at least twice. One of them, got that third one in for the win, but it's not like having that extra bloat, really.
But it's having extra bloat and no tackle.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
3 has become a little bit of a dodgy league.
Yeah, should we take a look at some of these teams, or we just?
I was just looking for the interesting matches.
Yeah.
Nothing else too big. Let's see.
One thing that was interesting when I noticed when doing the death montage that we'll see in a little bit is if you take a look at the wooden stand-ins versus not FDA approved results. 3 deaths for Statigus. One of those with a journeyman, but still.
Now,
that's a lot of dead elves in one match.
Samuel Elm Jackson had to be busted beforehand.
Yeah.
That is. I know one was a guard piece, which is valuable.
Yeah, it's a shame he saved. I think the apothecary until, he didn't even use it on the first 2 pieces. One with a kicker, the other one, second one with a journeyman. And he saved it to try and save the life of his guard dodge lineman, and then just rolled death at a death. So did not help. But yeah, for a team that had such a great first season last season, and then made it into the playoffs and huge upset beating Sage, just keeps getting the crap beat out of them.
I feel like you replaced Nick Okus Cage.
Are we looking
his
at the
thrower?
Team?
I'm looking at the team.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on. Let me get over to the team. Wooden stand-ins.
He's gonna have a thrower. He's got the money to replace the thrower, who's movement busted. I mean, buying lineman isn't really gonna help you when you can just use the journeyman. You're not gonna get to an 11-player bench. So.
Yeah, I mean, you could pick up another catcher, maybe. Yeah. I mean, you could pick up just another thrower instead of replacing that one.
I mean, all it has is sure hands, and it's movement busted. I do not believe there's much strip ball for him to worry about.
Yeah, but what are they at? 1380 plus what? What are the 70 plus 210? So 1590. Yeah, it probably is start getting to be about the time where you start worrying about that sort of thing. Usually if a team's so low in players, but the players that he does have are still fairly developed.
I mean,
So,
it's Wood Elves. You just keep replacing positionals and fill up on linemen until you hit that one lucky break where your team comes back and you have 11 players, and then they all get wiped out again.
yeah.
Playing the catch-up game with linemen in Wood Elves seems to be a losing proposition.
Yeah. And yeah, it is a pretty, movement bust on that thrower is not going to be great. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know how much about how you actually manage an elf team. I've never really played much of elves. But
You win games off bullshit that you wouldn't be able to win if you were playing a good team.
well, no, I know how to lose against elves. I just don't know
Oh,
how
no.
to manage.
That's how you win with Elves as well. You just wait and pull bullshit.
Yeah.
You're like, man, if I was playing a challenging team, I would have to think about this move. But I'm playing Elves. Let's just not roll ones. And ta-da, I pulled off some bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm good. Look how skilled I am because I don't bash. Edgy 4, edgy 4, edgy 4. Yeah, fuck Elves.
But to what
Mainland
degree
Rotters.
is that movement bust is really worth firing?
I think it is because if you look at his team, he's got 2 movement busts and 2 plus movements. So he's got 2 slower guys, 2 faster guys. The War Dancer you keep no matter what. 7's not slow. But 6 is slow on an elf team.
Yeah.
He's going to be your ball carrier.
So
You're holding everybody else up.
Exactly. You're going to keep him in the back, but you can't keep him as far back if you want because he needs that extra square movement. So I guess that does make sense. He is only 3 SPP away from another skill,
And
but then...
That's why I'm saying get rid of him now.
Yeah. I could see it either way, but yeah, it's probably the right move. So you had another team you were looking at?
I was mentioning Mainland Rotters. I didn't see how their game went. I'm assuming it was boring.
Let's see, Mainland Rotters was up against Live Tree or Die Hard and lost 2-1. Yeah, stats aren't showing a whole lot. 10 armor breaks for... I mean, that's actually fairly low for 47 blocks.
Duberman was the former coach of the Blackfire Loyalists, correct?
That sounds right. Yeah, oh,
I'm
only
gonna go with
one...
yes.
10 armor breaks, 1 KO. That's
I mean,
disappointing. Again,
and John McClane too is about to level up for Live Tree or Die Hard. The Rotters aren't super developed. They're far more developed than Spoonie's team. Can't catch us, especially after he got beat up. But not super developed, and only 2 tackle pieces to deal with the Elves and 1 non-block Mighty Blow.
Right.
That's the issue with early Chaos and Nurgle is sure you have Mighty Blow, but you don't have tackle or anything else to make it useful.
Right.
No tackle, no block, trying to hit blodge.
Yeah, and that successful blocks stat includes all the times where you push a blodge piece because you don't have tackle. So the 10 armor breaks, could have been on 10 knockdowns for all we know because the stats don't really show it. But yeah,
Scholarly Gentleman.
Die Hard still 12 players. Wow, there's a Wood Elf team that actually has a full, not just a full roster, but a bench.
Well, Duberman played Div 1, Div 2.
Yeah.
So he knows what he's doing. Poor Scholarly Gentleman. We didn't really get a chance to talk about him in your 3-hour recap. But
yeah, we
slightly, barely at the end because they joined late, right?
Oh yeah, I guess you're right. Where did
Yeah.
they go? Yeah.
Fairly underdeveloped team hit developed dwarf team for the first game. Had a death. Lots of block. He's gonna want to start getting some specialists.
Yeah. He needs these warriors, some skills on these 2 warriors that don't have any skills on them. He needs some pieces that actually have, sure hands or extra arms or something to be a ball carrier. And he's got the dodge piece now, so that might be a good place to start. But he definitely needs to be picking up some SPP and developing these guys.
Okay, what else we got, Mike?
Not a whole lot. I think for Div 3 there weren't a whole lot of upsets. So
You hear me, Mike?
what? I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, my headset's giving me guff.
Yeah.
Leafy Mustard's building out all right.
Leafy Mustard.
That would be Grizoot.
Yeah.
I know he had a Cyclosaurus, but just got to worry about all that skink bloat before you get your Sauruses built up. But I mean, they're pretty well built.
Yeah. Guard after Dodge is a bit of an odd choice.
Yeah.
Um.
I guess he just really felt he needed some guard.
Yeah. Although in this division where it's mostly elves, although who is he up against next? That's probably the more important
He's
question.
played his week too, I believe.
Oh, he was up against
Roasted Garlic Triscuits mirror matchup.
So this is actually, so you may have gotten that guard after that match. So who's the week after is going to be more elves. So yeah, I don't know why.
Let's worry about that when we get there.
Yeah.
I mean, to each their own.
Yeah.
Div 3 is a time to find yourself, explore new things.
Sure.
Like puberty, except more awkward.
Yeah.
Any teams you want to touch on, Mike?
No, yeah, I think we did. I think Grizoot trimmed one of his skinks after listening to our preview, which is probably for the best. I think he kept him from giving a withered in his last match, or in his week 1 match. But yeah, I think we can move on to Div 2.
Well, let's look at the schedule real quick for Div 3, see if there's any upcoming
Oh
games.
yeah, see who's coming up for week.
Come on now.
2. So yeah, 2 of them have already been played. Is this 0-0?
Berserkers versus Mainland Russ.
Was this an admin match?
No,
No?
it's Dwarf versus
Dwarf versus Nurgle. Yeah, Dwarf versus very strong Nurgle. So yeah.
I'm gonna say nothing super like drawing. Lich's Bonehead versus not FDA approved is gonna be interesting. Not FDA approved is probably the most bashy elf team in the league, and Lich's team is made for taking out elves. But I don't know if that'll be too interesting. I think I'm gonna say the game to watch. Oh, go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, Brothers versus Live Tree or Die Hard should be.
That's what I was
Yeah,
gonna say.
exactly.
That, yep. Game to watch. Live Tree Die Hard Brazzers. Full roster Wood Elves versus
Brothers
highly favored Orcs.
did lose a tackle piece in the first week, so let's see how much tackle they've actually still got left on the team, because that's gonna definitely come into play this week.
They also have the exact same.
They've still got two tackle blitzers, so even having lost the one, still got 2 tackle. One of them is lodge firm tackle too, so that's should be a bit of a pain for the elves.
No,
I mean they can just dodge away, but they're not going to be able to use their dodge skill, and he can that mighty blow piling on tackle. Not something Wood Elves really want to see, especially with 3 guard pieces here. So
it'd be an interesting game.
Yeah,
It's rare you see elves with a full roster, and both teams. Nobody's getting inducements.
yeah, Wood Elves certainly.
Actually, they both have 12. Wow. All right then. So that'll be just straight up team on team, no inducements to swing it either way, no loaders to worry about. I'm calling that one is going to be the interesting one.
Yeah, I think Braz is probably the favorite going in, just with that plus strength dodge lodge catcher or thrower rather, which means the strip ball isn't really going to be any use, and he's going to be uphill. He's not going to be able to leap into a cage on that guy to get a 1-die. So he's going to have trouble getting the ball away from the orcs, but then orcs tend to have some trouble on offense just moving up the pitch. So they could, it could go either way. If the orcs can remove some of these elves from the pitch, then that's going to really make the difference in this match. If the elf armor holds up, or they don't give away enough hits, then it'll probably go to the elves.
I'm gonna just swing the other way, and I'm gonna say I think Duberman's gonna take it. I think he's got a healthy looking elf team. He's got the tools he needs. Yeah, I think he's gonna elf his way to victory.
Huh? Well, we'll see next week. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting match either way. I could see it going either way, but yeah, I'm going to give a slight edge to the orcs, and we'll come back next week and see which of us had that one right. Should we move on?
Let's,
Move on to Div 2?
yeah, let's skip the leaderboard. There's no point looking at a week of wins.
Yeah.
Week 1 games. A lot of 0-1s, 0-2s. So low scoring.
Yeah, New Year North 3-0.
Okay.
Big one.
They were a rookie team, weren't they? Yeah.
Yeah, I think they both were.
Yeah.
I believe these are both teams up from the rookie league. Let's take a look. Is that a bite?
I'm gonna go with
Miners,
yes.
yeah.
All Rats losing to White Main Ravagers. Not all that surprising. White Main Ravagers a strong team. All Rats was looking a little anemic. Pale Scales. One of my favorites did a lot with a little. Went on to play in the playoffs. Comes into week 1 strong. Beating up Eat Man Things.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he had a strong looking lizard team with those extra strength skinks, so.
Well, he did a lot last season with very little development on the Saurus.
Yeah.
But I feel like now he's well developed, that it should be not too bad.
Oh,
for
wow.
him.
Oh, wow. Yeah, real quick. I mean, when I played Pale Scales in the playoffs, he had, I think, just block on every source, and then one with guard, I think. And now, yeah, he's got a second skill on 4 of them and a third skill on that guard piece. So, yeah, that's a lot of development in just
He had the
half an off season in one match. So
he had the stand firm when you played him.
oh, so it was guard stand firm. So yeah, but the other pieces had just had 1 skill on each. So we picked up 4 Saurus skills since the playoffs.
It's a very well developed lizard team.
Yeah. Definitely a force to be reckoned with. Scary looking.
Before you drag on about lizards,
Yeah,
switch
no.
gears.
Let's move on. And who were they playing against? The Eat Man. Is that
Eat Man Things.
Gotham's team?
No, Gothan. What?
No.
Really?
No.
Really? His rat's off
There's
to you. He
too
had
many
Steve.
freaking.
You've played with Golgothan for how many seasons? It's
I
Eat
know.
Man Things, right? Golgothan was rats off to you. Gary
Rats off to
Friendly.
you.
Rack it up a kill. Gary Friendly, best player in the league.
Yeah.
It's good. It's a good rebuilding season for Golgothan. Drop down from Div 1, where people battered his rats. Comes against teams like, who do you play?
Steve.
Steve was really, yeah.
Necro.
Steve is really not a weak necro team in any way.
No.
Goal much more lacking in skills. He doesn't really have much left on his team. He's got, some battered gunner runners and a 1-turner.
Where is this rat team? I can't seem to find it. Rat's off right there at the top. Okay. Oh yeah, he's got like nobody on his team. Yeah, to hold them to a tie with basically nobody on the team, definitely impressive.
I'm just going to assume, look at the match here, but a lot of it was to his 1-turner. No, wow. No, it wasn't to his 1-turner. His touches were
Gibbons
spread out.
and Joy Peters. He did get 5 casualties against the Necro, but although that doesn't say how many of them actually came
Stayed
back.
down.
Yeah. One of them died. We know that. Gary Friendly versus, I think, Nice Tim, or 2 very friendly-looking guys, both of whom had who have Dirty Player. I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah. Let's see here. Gibbons 2. Yeah, no, Gibbons 2 made one of the touchdowns.
Yeah.
And he's only 1 touchdown away now from getting another skill. So.
I'm really surprised that Howl at the Moon didn't do well against... Oh, sorry, it's Spicosaurus. I was going to say rookie, but Spicosaurus is probably one of the better rookies. So, quick run, it's Godzilla taking their first win. I believe Spicosaurus' first win in the REBBL proper.
Ooh, we're looking at Howl at the Moon, quick run at Godzilla.
Quick run is Godzilla.
Right.
We've looked at his team before. It's a really well-developed team. And Spigosaurus is a good coach, but, you know, it's always nice to see him come up and get a win early on.
Yeah, and that is a hell of a team to come up against. So, what was the TV difference there? This is 1740. That's not bad for all the development there. 1740 versus who are they playing?
Howl at the Moon.
Howl at the Moon. 14. So yeah, so we've given away like 300k in inducements.
Well, yeah, a little bit less because Howl at the Moon had a flesh golem before, I think, right?
Oh, that's true. Yeah, dead flesh golem.
Yeah. So there's the value remover there. So
Yeah.
pretty close.
Yeah, he can't afford to replace it for this week either. So that's a bummer.
You'll get no pity from me when it comes to Necros.
Yeah. No.
Do you want to talk about Cheese's team before he whines how I never talk about Cheese's team? He never talks about my team. He just talks about how we're Skaven. And he doesn't talk about my team. He won against Can't Catch Us. He bashed the crap out of him. I remember watching that game.
Which team is this?
Cheese Tactics beat Can't Catch Us, which is Spoonie Bard's team.
Ah, right. You said Skaven, and they're not actually Skaven. They just sound like they're Skaven.
I said yes, and he's going to complain that we mention that every single time.
Don't name your orcs after cheese.
Just don't. He'll bitch about anything. Spoonie Bard took the brunt end of that game, though. He took a AV bust on his double move Pestigore, who is the only really redeeming player on this Nurgle team right now. And then he took a movement bust on a warrior that has block guard,
Oof.
making him more immobile. So it was not a good run for Spoonie.
Yeah. Oof. You think he retires that Pestigore movement 8? Is
Yes.
so good though.
No, you get rid of him. He's fucking not worth it.
I don't know. If you can keep him safe, that's movement. I mean, it is a lot of TV though. That's the only thing.
At this point, his team is so underdeveloped. He's better off just hoping for good inducements.
Yeah, trim the keep the TV trim at this point so we can develop the rest of the team. That is true.
I really don't think Spoonie's gonna have a good season. I feel like Nurgle's so slow to develop. He lost both his killers at the end of last season, or in last season. So, just there's a lot to come together, and to do it in a division where people are well developed is hard.
Yeah, and there are some scary looking teams in this division. So, yeah, it's gonna be a rough. Who's he up against next week? Can't Catch Us versus Rats Off Tuya. So
that shouldn't be too bad.
yeah, at least
Spoonie versus Golgothan.
Yeah.
At least it's a team that doesn't have a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
There's that. Howl at the Moon lost 2-0 to Pale Scales. Pale Scales dominating so far, like I expected. And White Mane Ravagers, the other team that I have expected to do quite well. 4 touchdowns versus Cenobite the Curb. But we can get that next week.
Yeah,
any matches you're excited about?
Let me take a look.
I'm looking forward to Quick Run It's Godzilla.
Yeah.
Spigosaurus
That's
versus Cheese Tactics, the Orcs.
Yeah, and Steve versus Tadpole should be good too, I think.
Yeah, I think Necro is scary for Lizard because the Claw really can do work.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say Spigosaurus takes another win and goes into the 2-win club here this week. I don't know about Tadpoles versus Steve. That could go either way, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Games to watch. You ready to keep moving on?
Last week was 3 hours long, so let's keep this one shorter to make up the difference.
All right. Let's look at week 1 for Div 1.
Div 1. Bloodbath.
Necronomics dunked on Gloom and Zoom. Gloom and Zoom, everybody's favorite underdog, coming up from the lower divisions. Did really strong in playoffs.
Yeah.
Has a really strong rating in Schleiss's mathematical whatever. and just got embarrassed on by Horny Cricket. Horny Cricket was showing the experience on him.
Yeah, I mean, just look at the stats here. Ball possession, 0 to 81%. That's nuts. I mean, Gloom and Zoom did not end a single turn with the ball in his player's hands. Let's see.
I mean, everybody knows competing with Cricket is a rough deal. I think he's number 1 Lizard and almost number 1 on the CCL ladder right now with his ridiculous Lizardman team.
Didn't he jump to number 1, or did the guy be under him jump up again?
I have no idea right now. I'm not going to check.
Yeah.
Number 1 or number 2. Really just giving him the REL welcome, the REL 1 welcome that everybody's accustomed to.
Yeah, well, not quite. I don't know when he died. Usually the REL 1 welcome is I think.
I mean,
the the Refrigerator Raiders definitely got the one of the new dwarf teams.
He might not have killed anybody, but he sure hurt Gloom and Zoom's fighting spirit, I'm going to guess, with that game. Shiners tying Booze Cruise is really, I would say surprising, but it's nose dice being nose dice. He had no Storm Vermin for this game.
Yeah. Well, I guess he picked up Galart, must have helped, but... Jesus, 26 armor breaks. What was the, Oh, jeez. There you go. That's just the Kaz dice not working. The dwarves got 23 armor breaks, 0 the injury dice, 0 KOs and 0 casualties. Oh no, that's sustained.
It's rough.
I'm looking at sustained. I'm looking at the wrong numbers. Never mind. KOs inflicted 5. Injuries inflicted 4. I hate how Cyanide mixes up injuries to sometimes means casualty and sometimes means armor break.
Either way, it's a good how you do from nose dice to tie that out. Nothing to be ashamed of there.
Yeah.
Treat Kundo versus Bad Guys Inc. was well in Trunk's hand, but Treat Kundo was able to pull out a touchdown and bring a tie. Now, the big game was...
lost some major players in this match, though.
They lost 1.
It was like a agility 5 catcher and...
No. That was Men in Tights.
Ah, okay.
Treat Kundo lost a War Dancer that didn't have anything exciting, I don't think.
Okay.
Not a bad REL 1 welcome, not a great one, but both teams are just coming up to the lower division, so Trunk's been here before. Refrigerator Raiders, though, got the cream of the crop, the number 1 REL 1 welcome.
Yeah.
The ultimate red carpet to Division 1. He went from something like 1,800 TV to 1,300 TV.
Yeah, 2 very developed players, one a Troll Slayer and one I think just a very developed Longbeard dead, and then a very developed Blodge runner.
Your strength.
Minus strength. Retired, I assume.
Lumi.
You don't keep that guy around.
Lumi really proving why he's a Super Bowl champion. Just punished positioning mistakes, small positioning mistakes that he caught out from the Raiders.
Mitch the Cannon's still here.
He'll get fired.
Yeah.
If he doesn't, that's his problem. I don't know why you'd keep the dead weight. But
yeah.
Lumi is doing a good job in teaching the Raiders to correct some of the bad habits they may have picked up in the other divs.
Yeah, I mean the piling on, with the first turn when that Slayer piled on right next to a dirty player rat, and then Lumi's turn 1, dead Slayer. So, not something.
Can't just mindlessly bash.
Yeah, and especially on a line rat. You put someone at risk on the ground with armor 8, with rats around him with dirty player. You need to be doing that for a high value target, not against a line rat. So that's a lesson learned the hard way, I think.
He didn't have very good blitzes. He wasn't blitzing with the mighty blow, and he just let Lumi kind of do his thing.
Yeah, I mean, may have just been a little tilted after the
after the dead. Yeah. Night Husseini put to death 2 of the Men in Tights and took a victory. 1 being a War Dancer and 1 being an Agi 5 catcher. Doing God's work, Miss Dave. Nothing
Yeah.
on that. Yes.
Yeah, let's take a look at the stats here. 5 casualties, 6 KOs, 2 dead. Not a lot of,
Well, you know,
not a lot of elves on the pitch by the end of the match.
you're gonna know that in a Mistays game, boots are gonna be thrown and blood is gonna be sought.
Yeah. It's so weird. You know, for a team that, you know, has all their strength access pieces start with wrestle, and you'd think it'd be hard for them to get the get those casualties in, but he'll roll the paths when he needs them, and all those cheap fouling pieces don't hurt either. So
Yeah, he kills at least one of my beastmen every time we play. We always draw, but he always kills a beastman. Yeti to party, handsome jacks. That's two old hands going at it. Yeti to party coming out 2-0, though he lost a tackle piece to a turn 16 foul, which really hurt him against Rats this week. So.
Oh, I missed that. Is that was he just showed up as dead? So it's just a
No, just
injury.
out for the game. Yeah.
Oh,
Do you want to talk about you really want to talk about the big upset this week, week one, first week out of the gate?
Are you talking
Mike?
about our match? I don't think that was an
Yeah.
upset. I think if you looked at the teams, it was pretty clear that you were the favorite there. Your team
I don't know, Mike.
Your team was kind of scary last season, terribly scary this season, and my Crocs was missing. So I didn't expect.
I
to win
don't know,
that,
Mike. That upset.
I guess.
You could have played for the tie, but nobody wants to tie old Saace. Everybody wants to beat him.
I mean, that's just how I play in general. And the thing is, like, yeah, even if I had tried to slow down and not score early in the second half, it would have just. I mean, the chances are good that you would have just kept removing my players, and I would have. My chances would have gotten harder for me to score instead of easier. So, I stick by the play I made. I put in through Samba with a 65% chance to make that. So, it's not terrible. It's probably wasn't necessary, but you know.
Stand by your 6% ball possession. I'm tickled pink, Mike. I always take a toll from you. I take my pound of flesh, but you always skink your way to victory on me.
Yeah, so anyone who missed it, Frost, the niggled Saurus, has now got 2 niggling injuries. It's a bummer, but he's still a strength 4 AV9
He's
piece.
He's a bit of a niggler now.
Yeah, so until I face, I guess, until I'm up against, some claw, I'm gonna have to worry about Lumi, and then I got both of the Necros the last 2 weeks of the season.
You really did get shafted.
Yeah. I mean, this is what happens. This is what happens with my team. It falls apart, and I build it together, and and then it falls apart again. So yeah, I also lost. I got a niggle on. Was it Hudson? Yeah, Hudson had 5 SPP, and I got a niggling injury, so I replaced him.
Any teams you want to look at?
Let's see, who am I up against next? Let's look at them. Booth Cruise. How are they doing? Scary. That is a lot of guard.
Booze Cruise is the team that went guard first and Mighty Blow second, and knows this is able to pull it out. But this is probably, in my opinion, I believe I said this is the better dwarf team in my opinion.
Well, after the other one got trimmed.
even before that, the other one
Yeah.
didn't have nearly as much guard or stand firm. I mean, 4-5 stand firm pieces and then just guard versus your 1 guard.
I'll have 2 for this match because I'll have.
Ooh.
Yeah, but no, it's
Ooh.
gonna be a shit show. I've got but I mean, last season was the same thing. My first half of the season was pretty mediocre, and then I just went on a hot streak in the middle of it.
But
I
just
need to make sure enough of my team actually survives to get to get that hot streak. This is another game I don't expect to win. We maybe obviously Lizard versus Dwarves is always tends to be one of those things where if you can get the ball and run away with it, because the Dwarves just can't catch up with you. But a good Dwarf coach can make that difficult. especially with 5 stand firm pieces and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guard pieces. So we'll see. But yeah, not. I don't fancy my chances. That's gonna be a rough one.
So I'm looking at Refrigerator Raiders, the other dwarf team.
Yeah.
I think for some reason Raw Dog's gonna keep Mitch the Cannon the strength busted.
Oh shit. Well, I put him in Memoriam thing because I figured he was retired, but now you've made me a liar out of me.
You already have a block runner. I don't think it's worth it to keep a strength 2 runner.
There's no reason. I mean, just because he's got dodge. I mean, that's the rest of these are normal skills. That's just bloat. He can more than afford to replace him. Although he also has to pick up a new. Now he replaced his Troll Slayer. Is this injury on this Blitzer? We're getting ahead of ourselves because I think this is from week 2, but no, that's just a miss next game.
Get rid of Mitch the Cannon.
Yeah, that's a liability. There's no reason to keep him. If he had happened to give him a bunch of passing skills, maybe.
No.
But
the one last thing I want to touch on.
Yeah.
The one last thing I want to touch on before we move into matches to look out for in week 2. Handsome Jack's holding to the fact that all of his humans are going to be mutant freak beasts who pump steroids. Jack of Hearts hit his first level up this first week and came out with an Agi.
Jack. Oh, jeez, he's got an agility thrower.
So, looking like mistakes. 3+ Agis, 2+ strength, and a plus movement.
That's not right.
And he was finally able to afford an ogre.
Oh, we did pick up the ogre. Great. Who's he up against this week? Because I think I'm up against him next week.
Well, let's look at week 2.
Yeah. So
he is up against.
Oh, he already played. So that ogre, I'm definitely gonna be facing. He lost.
Where did he play?
Huh? Handsome Jack to Necronomics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Cricket's just on a roll here.
Cricket's one of the best coaches.
Yeah.
He's got a solid team.
Yeah.
The match I'm gonna say, the match to watch, is gonna be Pastry Pests versus Gloom and Zoom. Bring him back. I believe they played in playoffs, right? Playoffs?
Yeah, they were the semifinals. That's a rematch.
Week 2 semifinal rematch? I'm excited.
Yeah, that is exciting. Definitely. We'll see. Does either of them have any miss next game players or anything like that? How are they looking going into it? Oh yeah, Pastry Fest lost a lineman and has
that's not a big deal.
Has another lineman that's missing. So that's
everybody's healthy on Gloom and Zoom. I mean, he's out of zombie, but it's Wolf Rider.
Yeah, and then Gloom and Zoom.
Is he gonna put Lumi to the test?
Yeah, let's see. What is the inducement situation going to be? So he's got a full team at 1680. Lumi, actually Gloom and Zoom's been getting inducements because Lumi's at 1660, and it's getting 100. So 80k worth of inducements towards the Necro. So, yeah, that's definitely going to be a fun match to watch.
Maybe Lumi can be the enforcer we need. And after beating up dwarves, go on to give the Necro.
Yeah, take out some of those strength 4 wolves.
Gloom and Zoom has you have a shitty schedule in terms of racial matchups. Gloom and Zoom has a shitty schedule starting with 2 of the best coaches, objectively, in the REL 1. I don't think anybody's going to argue with me saying that Cricket and Lumi are 2 of the best coaches in REL 1.
Yeah, definitely, and yeah.
So I'm not going to make any judge of Gloom and Zoom's season off the first few weeks.
Yeah, it's a rough start. Who's he got for week 3? Are they going to get any easier? Gloom and Zoom, where are they? Oh, he's got a nosedive. So maybe he can trim some rats. Or maybe the rats can trim some wolves. We'll see.
You know, I'm expecting, after having to play through Lumi and Cricket, he goes, yes, time to play Nose Dice. And I just feel like Nose Dice is going to Nose Dice.
Yeah.
And it will just, it's going to sour the start of the season for Gloom and Zoom.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely gonna be a fun match to watch. Wow, it was close.
Cavi Kane got double 2 heads, I believe, in his last match.
Which one? Oh yeah, it's new gutter. Wonder if he's turning him into a replacement for Meringue.
I would believe so.
Meringue's niggled, right?
Yeah, he said he was going to replace Meringue after the end of the playoffs because he needed a playoffs. And they said, well, I might keep Meringue. But Cavi Kane getting 2 heads, I'm assuming he'll get strip ball dauntless. He becomes the new Meringue.
Yeah.
Anybody else you want to touch on?
Let's see, who's scheduled for week 2? Tide, Smooth Cruise, a couple months you've already played. No, yeah.
You want to talk inbounds? I play Treat Kundo tomorrow morning, and they're going to be rocking, I think, 420,000 inducements.
420. Oof.
I mean, they're at 12-10.
Oh yeah.
With
well, except they've only got
7 players.
7 players, so they need 280 on top of that. So 1490 versus your. Where are you at?
1910.
Yeah. It's a big old chunk of change. And the Wood Elves have got some access to some good star players too, so.
Yep. And I don't think I'm going to waste my money on. I mean, I could. I mean, I don't expect to lose anybody, but you never know. But I've got all the bench I need. I could spend my money, get myself a wizard. Pew! Just be that guy.
Or just pick up a bribe.
Yeah. Alright. Anything else you want to touch on before we move on out to your montage of death? Your ballet of destruction.
Yeah, let's do that. So yeah, we're gonna, before we wrap it up for the week, we're gonna just take a moment to remember everyone who gave their all on the Blood Bowl pitch, except for one dwarf who apparently is coming back. But whatever. Let's roll it. And we're back. So yeah, what a bloody week. That was 15 dead and 1 strength buffed. In general, just so you guys know, it's easy for me to find the dead, the deaths when I go to record these. If you have someone who's taken a career-ending injury, and we're talking like a very developed piece or like a stat freak piece, no one cares about your dead lineman, or your injured lineman. Let me know and I'll try and get those in too. So that's I happen to know that that dwarf took a strength bust and figured that was going to be career ending, so that's why I included him. But
Should have been career ending.
Yeah, I don't know why he's keeping that guy around. That seems odd to me. But yeah, if you do have someone who's been around for a while or has some crazy stat ups or is a a key player who takes a career-ending injury, let me know and I will include him. But in general, it's harder for me to find those because basically I'm just looking at the end of match screens for the deaths, and then I just go through the replays looking for skulls in the cat box. So if it's an injury, I'm not likely to catch it.
Pretty much what Mike is saying.
I don't, if this past week I was away for the weekend, so I didn't get to watch that many games. In general, hopefully Mike, I'll actually be able to watch and or maybe cast some. But
Mike,
yeah,
you're rambling.
I am rambling. Also, if you have any tips, if you see anything weird, any crazy plays that just shouldn't have worked, some elf BS or some, I don't know, orcs pulling off elf BS or something that really should have worked that just failed in a hilarious way, let me know. We'll do little highlight clips. Those are sort of fun to do in here as well. But I need you guys to point them out to me. So send me a message on Discord or Reddit, and yeah, we'll make sure to feature those in future recaps.
That was very succinct, Mike. Thank you. Just as you're all waiting around for that new recap to come out, and you're saying, "Saace, when's the recap?" Look over your weekly played games and remember, Mike wants just the tip.
Yeah, give me. Your
I think
tips.
that's where.
I want all of your tips, all of them.
I think that's where we're gonna end it this week.
Yeah.
I'm Saace with the REL 1 through 3 recap, and as always, we have the beautiful man bun, Eyes and Mike. Take us out, Mike.
All right. Thank you for watching, and see you on the pitch.